Okay, this is take two. I don't think take one was all that great anyway. All right, trying to get used to talking to a camera, sitting in a room by myself, that sort of thing. But I'm using this as a supplemental video to something that I recorded already. Chad and I, not Chaz, Chad and I got another friend named Chaz, but me and Chad from the previous video, you might recall, we got together, me and him, and we were talking. On the day that we got together, we were talking about music, and he kind of introduced me to the thing that he's interested in, that he wants to produce music. Now, I knew that he was putting together some tunes, and I've seen him before. I've seen him do it live before, but I hadn't talked to Chad that much to know that he was trying to really get that deep into it. From that time that we met, when I got together with him and Sergio, we just continued talking about it. He showed me some of the things that he was doing with TikTok and how he's trying to grow a channel there. So I'll say, show him some love. Go over there, listen to the tunes that he has. On the last YouTube video that I did with Chad, he had supplied me some music for that video. And so I got about maybe 5 or 6 tracks from him, and I think I probably ended up using somewhere between 3 and 4. But him and I decided to get back together. He said that as he's continuing to work and as he's trying to do certain things, we're trying to see what can we do to collaborate together to just kind of help him grow his product. There are a lot of interests that I have. Video is one, photography is another thing. Music is a really big one for me. I'm no longer playing music. I used to play many years ago, but that's so far in the past that that's not something that I think about for myself. But I love being around the creative process. So you'll see in the video, I try to touch on something about bringing together more so like the technological mindset, the business mindset, with the creative mindset. But like, why did you choose to go with 4 tracks on that EP?
Yeah, I just wanted to keep it concise for this project. Just kind of I guess quality over quantity type thing. Like just the 4 songs that I'm most excited about, and then just have it on an EP. And then eventually I'd like to do an album where, it's 10 tracks, 10 to 12 tracks. That I would be excited to do a full project like that. But for this one, it's kind of introductory, and then just, because I've been making a lot of music. So just taking the 4 tracks out of all the music I've made that I'm most excited about as like an introduction.
How much music do you think you made?
So far, I've made, like over this summer, I've probably made like close to 100 beats.
All right. You have over 100 produced beats to choose from, but then you decided to just do like this 4-track EP, man. Like what is the explanation behind it?
I will say too, sometimes if I'm not really feeling a beat, especially when I was younger, I used to do this, I would just like delete a beat. I don't do that anymore. Now I archive it, I keep it, but like even over the summer, I'll make ideas and then I'll just like throw them away. And maybe I should keep every single little idea I make. But basically it's just I think it was a Quincy Jones interview when him and Michael were working on Thriller. He said they made 30 songs and then they picked the best 9 out of them. And I just kind of resonated with that approach, where it's just, I've heard the phrase like quantity leads to quality. And I kind of resonate that because it's like you're practicing. It's like your, jump shot, like 300 jump shots a day type thing. Yeah. And also too, like, honestly, like going into my process lately for the past 4 months. So over the summer, I've made like close to 100 ideas 100 beats, sketches. But honestly, I feel like it's just gotten me to a place where I kind of understand my process good now. So like my process is a lot quicker, and also I feel like I think most artists will say this too, in any realm too, whether it be fine art or fashion, or when you keep making designs, you start to get a theme, a story, a sound, a style starts to develop. And that's what I noticed in this, when I'm making a lot more, when I'm more consistent, something starts to develop. So now I've gotten to this place where my process is quicker. I start to see a sound developing here. Now I'm striving to make 100 more to get 4 that I'm excited about. And it's not necessarily like trying to do quantity just for the sake of quantity, because I heard a producer once say like quantity without inspiration it just becomes repetitive. And I resonated with that because I noticed that too. There were times where I was making beats like every day consistently, but I wasn't inspired, and the music started coming out the same. The music wasn't really inspiring. So the two things I'm really striving to do is like constantly look for inspiration and then consistently create.
Where are you looking for the inspiration? Where do you find it?
Man, anything from just, because I just love art, fine art, fashion, music, cinematography. So I could be watching a movie, could be listening to an interview from this artist, could be, the main inspiration I draw from for sure is music. I'm always listening to music constantly. And then, like even just visuals too, looking at like pictures or like scenery will inspire me.
Who do you sound like?
I would say, I was actually thinking about this.
Yeah.
Because I love music in general. Doesn't matter what genre it is. And that's kind of like, I feel like for me personally, it's held me back during the years of my making music, because one day I want to make this type of song, next day I want to make this type of song. Like one day I want to do R&B, the next day I want to try to do a rock song, and the next day I want to try to do a house song, like, and then every subgenre in between, just because I love music. But then I realized for myself, I really need to specialize. I need to specify, like, what is it that I'm most excited about? What is it that most inspires me? What is it like at my core? And then just go in that direction. So for me, if you had to put a genre over it, which I don't really even, genres are cool, but I feel like the lines are so blurred nowadays, you can just make whatever. But for me, I would say like maybe indie R&B or alternative R&B is like a phrase now.
So that's your genre.
Yeah.
And you think that's a genre that you, for the most part, kind of just live in right now?
To be honest, that's probably been my space for a couple of years now.
So what I'm curious then is, like, in that space, like, who do you think you sound like?
Specific artists.
Yeah. Or are you don't sound like anybody?
I think it kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, I just love so many different artists.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to like kind of pinpoint one or two or even a few, really. I would say my main inspirations are probably like, there's Thundercat, there's Frank Ocean, there's Toro y Moi, Daniel Caesar, and Korean R&B. Very inspired by Korean R&B genre. Lo-fi beats. It's.
And then, like, educate me, and then maybe you would educate anybody who would be listening to this. It's like, because when you say you sound like Frank Ocean, I know that Frank Ocean is a singer.
Yeah.
I know that Daniel Caesar is a singer.
Yeah.
Do they also produce? Because I know you're a producer.
Yeah.
Do they also produce, or are you saying that you sound like the production that they found their vocals in?
Yeah, I would say I would say the production. These artists really have a sound, you know, from their vocals to the production, and really a whole aesthetic. Some of them, you know, to the album art, to the merch, they just have a whole aesthetic. So yeah, I would just say those artists I'm most inspired by, just in general, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I like that. And I'm going to challenge you, though. And you can say however you feel, but I think picking a genre then helps you, right? Picking a genre helps you to be discovered, right? Because if somebody says, "Hey, man, I want to find R&B artists," and I know where to go. If I'm looking for rap, then I know where to go.
Right.
And I'm always going to live it, right? And you can like help establish your audience like that, right?
Right.
There are some artists who have crossed those genres, but maybe they didn't do that until actually they're fully established in one.
Right.
So you said, hey, you were all over the place. You were doing rock, you were doing R&B, but then you decided to fall into indie R&B.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what makes you happy to live there, and that you have to do that?
Oh yeah.
Or are you doing it because you feel like, hey, this is my genre, or are you doing that because for the discoverability,
No.
Okay.
And I just really came to this conclusion like recently, like probably this week.
Yeah.
Because over the years, like what I've been inspired by, the artists that I've been inspired by, like change. And I know they'll continue to change, but if I look back, which I have been doing, I've been reflecting. I'm like, over the past few years, like 3 or 4 years, I know that this is the space right here. This is what I resonate with the most. This is what naturally comes out of me when I create, you know?
I sincerely have an interest in like so many different things, so many different areas, so many different genres. I like products. I'm looking at you, what you're doing as a product. Like you yourself are a project. Like we can take the music that you're trying to do and how you're trying to do this music, and we can productize it, right? Chad the product, Chad the product as in the artist behind it and his artwork that he puts out there. And to me, I think that the whole thing is interesting. There's so many artists that say don't fit me in a genre. Post Malone, like people got so mad at him because he's like, yo, I'm not a rapper, right? I was listening to Post Malone Circles, right? To me, it's not really a rap song, So it's like, I can see why he says I'm not a rapper, but he's known as a rapper. And a lot of people that like rap music got mad at him. It was like, yo, you got popular off of rap. And yeah, he did get popular off of rap. So maybe he should have shown more respect for the craft, But at the same time, as an individual, I think he has a right, to say like, yeah, I don't think I'm a rapper, right? You're working, man. So if I don't hear from you, I understand. I know you're working.
Yeah.
Yeah, just continue to work. 2 weeks. We'll say roughly 3 weeks before November 19th is when we'll start to solidify a date for us to do a podcast. And if you need anything before that or after that, just say let me know.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming to the channel. Please, everyone, subscribe, hit the bell, and go to SeanIRL.com. That website is always going to be changing. I'm shifting it in the background and trying to figure out what that website can look like. But do go there. I have some podcasts from Sean IRL in the past that I've done. Take a listen. You'll hear Sergio. You'll hear Kendall. You'll hear Philip Livingston, who is a artist who's local to DC. So there's people that I've spoken to there. I'm going to continue to do the podcast again, except this time I'm trying to not have it only be an audio podcast. I want to bring the video into the podcast. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not quite sure how to do that with COVID. People that are close to me that I know that have been vaccinated, that are comfortable with meeting, I'll be able to see them and we can have a video podcast. If not, there might be some Zoom or Skype. I'm not sure. That's still up in the air. But anyway, working that out. Thanks for giving it a listen. Let me not ramble on. I will make this short and come again.